The first impressions and unboxing of the officially licensed Marine Corps Tactical Tomahawk. Man, that's a mouthful. We're going to take it out and we're going to look at it together. I've yet to open the box. And we're going to look at the design, how well it feels in the hand, and just overall specs of it. And then I'm going to tell you guys why it kind of rubs me the wrong way. As a vet, it kind of does a little bit. And we'll get into that in the video. So let's just jump into it, guys. Let's talk about the Tactical Tomahawk officially licensed by the Marine Corps. Some information on what officially licensed means. So basically, a company goes to the Marine Corps and says, we'd like to use your logo and your name. And the licensing department from the Marine Corps says yay or nay. And they gave MTech here the ability to put the Marine logo and the Marine name on this Tactical Tomahawk here. That does not necessarily mean that the Marines are using it. I don't believe they are. So there is that. Being a vet, there are a couple things that I initially saw when I looked at the box and kind of ordered this Tactical Tomahawk here was, number one, that a portion of the proceeds that they make from these Tactical Tomahawks go to vet and vet organizations because they're using the Marine logo and the Marine name, which is really cool. But one thing that kind of rubbed me a little sideways, if you want to say that, is the fact that the official licensing department from the Marine Corps says that they like to use American-made products. Being fully transparent here, as you can see, it says made in China. So there is that. If it rubs you the wrong way, I get it. If you don't care, I get that too. But I'd like to see our branches of service at least using American-made products. So there is that. So getting into the actual unboxing and first impressions of this thing, we do have tape around it. So give me a second and I'm going to get this tape off. Now that we got the tape off, let's open it and see what we have here. Okay, so we have just a generic cardboard box. And we have the Tactical Tomahawk here that goes to silica gel. I'll pick it up. I know I'm in the woods. I don't like littering in the woods. I pick up all my trash. So there is that. Okay, so we got some plastic here and just kind of taking a look at the sheath. Typical nylon sheath, guys. There is no strap that kind of wraps around the Tomahawk head, which I would have liked to have had, but it's not bad. You do have some rivets around the outside here. And then you have stitching that goes along. It's done pretty decent. Up at the top, there is stitching. At the bottom, there is not. It's snaps, okay? Cool thing about the snaps is it does say United States Marine Corps there, as you can see on the snap heads, which is a pretty cool touch. You do get a belt loop in the back, and it basically just kind of slides in there, and then you snap it together. Not bad, guys, not bad. So we'll throw it away. That's what we do here on Midgard Axe with sheaths. I don't need it anymore. Man, this thing is really small. I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger. But before we get into the actual first impressions and I tell you what I think about it, I'm going to send it over to Dave and he's going to give you the specs on the Tactical Tomahawk by MTech.
The MTech Tactical Tomahawk is under the name of Master Cutlery. The Tomahawk head is made from 3CR13 stainless steel with a 3.5-inch bit surface. The spike extends nicely from the Tomahawk head with a cutting bit on the bottom side. If you would like to learn how to trace with crayons, the United States Marine Corps initials are etched into the head of the Tomahawk. The Tomahawk has what they call a nylon fiber handle, wrapped with paracord, ending at the knob with a lanyard. The overall length is 11 inches, and the weight is coming in at 1 pound and 4 ounces. They claim this Tomahawk is great for camping, survival, and tactical use to include breaching. However, in our experience, glass-filled nylon handles are more suited for breaching cardboard boxes, and maybe a MRE if you're hungry. We have no doubt that in any devil dog's hands, this Tomahawk would be an effective tool, and especially deadly. The Marines will put a hurting on you, quickly, with whatever they have available.
Put it in my hands for the first time. I do like that inward swept handle. If you guys don't know, one of the very first axes that I made for axe throwing a long time ago had an inward swept handle. And I really enjoyed it. I was able to throw that thing really far, and going back and looking at it now, it's a very odd shape, but it works really well for axe throwing. So I do enjoy this inward swept handle. Putting it in my hand for the first time and giving you an idea of the circumference, it's pretty good. My middle finger is barely touching my palm, so I do like the feel of it in my hand. You do have a little bit of a kicked up knob here if you were doing some chopping. I don't think it's gonna be an issue for axe throwing, but if it is, I'll be honest with you guys, I'll probably just go in with my Dremel and take it down a little bit so that way I get more of a cleaner release out of the hand. So there is that. It does say something about, it doesn't say glass-filled nylon handle, it says nylon handle, but to me it feels like a glass-filled nylon handle, and it looks like one too. So I'd have issues with that. To call this a tactical tomahawk for the United States Marine Corps, I would have liked to have seen a better choice in the handle material. Glass-filled nylon handles, in my opinion, are not the greatest. Even for chopping and doing all that, they're just not great. And when my experience, I've done a lot of glass-filled nylon handle reviews, most of them break, even with clean bit strikes. Taking a look at the bolts that we have here, we do have torque head bolts, and the cool thing about it is that you have them on the other side too. So if you wanted to tighten them or loosen them, you can. You do have the ability to do that. You do have some paracord down here at the bottom for a grip. It feels okay in the hand. I don't like this. Normally speaking, I would probably take the paracord off and wrap it with some type of grip tape. I think it would work better for axe throwing, but you know, we'll try it with both and see. We'll have to come up with something to kind of like mitigate this flapping down here. That's going to get annoying. The actual tomahawk head is very interesting. I did like the tomahawk head. That's why I bought it, because of this bit style. You do have an elongated spike in the back that does have somewhat of an edge at the bottom, but it's not very sharp, but you could sharpen it. Now up here at the top, it's very thick. You're probably not gonna get the best edge if you were to sharpen it from the spike to the bit, but you could. It would just probably take you a while. Did notice that we have 3 relief cuts here in the actual tomahawk head. We have three circles there. You do have the United States Marine Corps abbreviated name there, and on the other side as well, USMC, which is a nice touch. Back here on the spike, you have a little bit of a relief cut design, which is really cool looking, and you have it on the other side as well. And then getting into the actual beard, it feels pretty good. It is a little bit thinner up here without that paracord, so when you put it in your hand, it's a little bit thinner, but you could choke up on it, but you're gonna have a weird choke point when you're using it because it's not a straight bit or a circled bit. It's kind of angled down, so you'd have to turn the handle this way to, you know, carve or whatever you're gonna do choking up on this tomahawk here. Now getting into the actual bit, you do have a bit up here at the toe, and then it kind of tapers down and then goes back down towards the heel. Looking at it from this angle here, very hard taper. That's something that we're seeing a lot in these tomahawks, hatchets and axes, is that they have what I like to call a manufacturer's grind. Very hard taper from here to here, and then the same going down, and it is a little uneven. It looks like it's been ground more on this side this way, so it's like this and then like this. We can fix it with a whetstone. That'd be pretty easy. The edge on it as it comes is pretty dull. It's pretty dull, so we're gonna have to get in there with our file or a whetstone, take the cheeks down and give it more of a tapering bit, because I think that would work better for axe throwing. So let's do some weight test on this tactical tomahawk. Here, I'll put my hand here now. We do have a bit heavy tomahawk, so I think it's gonna rotate really well in the air. Kind of doing my rotation test and seeing how well it's gonna rotate. We do have a head rotation towards the bit, which in my experience tells me that it's gonna be a true flyer in the air. I think this thing's gonna work out really well. I really do. The only things that I'm concerned about are the glass-filled nylon handle. I don't like them. They break really easily. Even with a bit strike, they'll snap in half. And number 2, with that inward swept handle, as you can see here, the knob almost matches the bit down here at the heel, which means that in order to mitigate knob strikes, you're gonna have to kind of get a little bit of an over rotation, kind of like the Cova Blackthorn and the first axe that I made for axe throwing. I can do it. I don't have an issue with it. But the problem is that with this glass-filled nylon handle, I'm gonna get knob strikes with this bit design and the handle design. It's gonna happen. So I'm interested to see how well it's gonna take knob strikes before it breaks, or it may not. And that's something that we'll have to do in the second video, is take it out and throw it and see how well this glass-filled nylon handle holds up and how well the handle design works with this bit design. And that's something we'll do in part 2. Thanks for everything everybody does to make this channel what it is. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think about the MTech USA United States Marine Corps Tactical Tomahawk. If it's something that you think you'd buy. Here's the price up here if you're interested in knowing how much it is. And like I said before, it comes with the sheath. Not bad, not bad. I think it's gonna fly really well. I'm just worried about this glass-filled nylon handle, guys, I am. Thanks for all your support, guys, like always. And remember, it's always for the love of the axe. But until next time, see ya.